What's up, ladies and gents in Cyberland? So today I'm going to be doing a quick review on Green Day's Trey. So, Trey came out in January of, I believe it was 2013, and it wasn't supposed to come out around, or no, it was supposed to come out in January, but it got released in December because of the whole situation with the band not touring because what happened with Billy and stuff. So the band, as a nice Christmas gift, gave us the album early. So with Trey, it is coming off of the party of Dose, and the whole album is entitled is a way of waking up after your hangover or your party and stuff. So the album starts out with Brutal Love, and Brutal Love reminds me a little bit of Before the Lobotomy to an extent. However, it takes a different direction. It's not aggressive. It's a slow starter song. And it's pretty cool. No qualms with that one. And then of course with Missing You, that's when we kick in with the band and stuff and the aggression a little bit and such. With Trey, I felt like it was almost like a refreshing type of album, because after Uno, Dose, and Trey, it's kind of like bringing everything back to a certain point for level-wise. There wasn't any songs I didn't like. It was just more so, Mac was a little boy named Train. It's not really one of my choices when I would listen to the album. I do listen to it, but it's not one of those songs where I'm like, ooh, yeah, I love this. Rating for the album, I would give it 4.5 out of 5, because I felt like if you kept a few tracks of Dose and then kept most of the tracks of Uno and Trey, I think that would have been a better cohesive type of double album, almost more so than a triple album. But that's not technically what happened. My top 5 tracks are 8th Street. No, not 8th Street. 8th Avenue, Serenade. I love that song. Missing You. X-Kid. I love X-Kid. 99 Revolutions, and Dirty Rotten Bastards. Those are my top 5 tracks. I would say The Forgotten, because I just like the piano. I just like that song, even though that song got a lot of shit because it was part of the Twilight film or something like that. Whatever. I just like the song for what it is. It was a good way to end the album, especially after 99 Revolutions, because that's just like, oh, rock, and then let's just end it off with like a soft piano ballad. I really like that. I really feel that it's a song that a lot of fans that I've heard from time to time don't really care for. However, I think it would be great if just, if they had just performed that song with the piano and stuff, live, I think it would have been really great. People maybe would have a better respect for that song, but it's neither here nor there. So, yeah, that's my review for the album. Now, in retrospect, looking back on these albums and the time period when I listened to them, I felt that, of course, the albums should have been a little trimmed down. They didn't necessarily have to have a story behind them. I just feel like they could have been more cohesive if they had been trimmed, if some of the fat had been trimmed, I do feel they probably would have gotten a lot more love if the tour hadn't been cut. A lot of the tour dates hadn't been cut because of what happened with Billy. I think if they performed the album as much as they could during that time, it probably would have gotten a lot more love. And also the guitars. The guitars weren't bad. However, I think the distortion part of it should have been kicked up a little bit, maybe a little bit more. This was also the last albums that Rob Cavallo worked on with the band. That's something I didn't mention in the last 2 videos. However, he was the guy that, it was a huge partnership between him and Green Day, because he did Dookie, Insomniac, Nimrod. He didn't do Warning, but he did AI, He didn't do 21st Century, but he did these albums. And of course, after that, I don't know if the band will be working with him ever again. And not to say because there's an issue with each other. I just think the band mentioned with Revolution Radio that they have a great friendship with him, but they don't necessarily need him anymore to do production for their own albums. I think they got it. However, who knows? I think he's been an integral part of the band to where the music they have come out with so far in their career. Whether he's going to have any more input for future albums, I don't know. Also, Jason White, it was interesting to see them having a fourth member for these albums. I'm curious, though, how much did he bring into these albums, too? Like, did he just play what was given to him, or did he actually come up with certain riffs or certain notes or just certain things for the band? It'd just be interesting to know. Not necessarily it means, like, he needs to get credit for this or they need credit for that. It's just be interesting to see, hey, what did he bring? What were his bag of tricks that he brought in when they did these albums? It'd just be interesting to know. Also, thinking about it, these albums for me, it's a lot harder to place them in ranking with the other material because I don't think it's necessarily fair to say, well, it's a triple album, how does it compete with other albums? I feel if it wasn't a triple album and they were all separate albums, really separate albums, I would say Dose is probably doesn't hold up as well with the other material that they've released, including what's come after Dose. However, I feel Uno and Trey hold up to compete with what's come after them as well as what's come before them. And I'm not trying to be biased about it. It's just, I don't think garage rock is like a song here or there is good for Green Day. But from my perspective, I don't think that really is the best approach for them when it comes to their music. It's just because, and I'm not trying to say they can't do that. It's just a song here or there does them justice. But when you make like albums of it, I think that should be when they do their side things like the Long Shot or Foxborough Hot Tubs. I think that gives them, if you're going to do those sounds, do it with that as opposed to having it just all incorporated into the Green Day sound. And again, that's just me. Ranking it, yeah, and just ranking it, it's not an easy one for me to rank. I just know, yes, I'm not going to like it better than Duke and Sonic and Nimrod. That I don't think anything they come out with is going to really be able to kick those out of my top three. I mean, AI comes pretty close just as well as 21st Century, but those albums are just really special to me for what was going on when I first heard them growing up, just the different time periods of when I bought them and when I heard them. So they have that appeal. And it's just one of those things where it was just like when you look at the AI period, you look at the Warning period, you look at 21st Century, it's just Uno Dos Tres is just kind of a really weird time for the band. It's just because so many things going on, the pressure of 21st Century following up, and then the songs being just created for just, it's almost like there wasn't really a full plan on how to do these albums. And that's not to say, because it doesn't seem like Nimrod and Insomnia totally had that either. However, I think because of 21st Century and AI, it was kind of almost like it's kind of expected of them to have not songs, but have albums to where they start to incorporate that more just because they've done it so well. I don't know. So, yeah. I would say, again, just like Uno Dos, if you're a fan of the band, then yeah, check out the material. But if it's not something I would say just to listen to right out, because it's not all over the place for Uno Dos Tres. It's just this is probably not their strongest point in their career. It's not. I don't think they ever had a bad point, because I didn't dislike these albums. I just feel that maybe certain things could have been done a little differently. Maybe some things could have been done a little better. You know, it's just one of those. It's just it was just a weird period. You know, just everything that was going on with them, and then just the whole process of making these albums and everything that encompassed afterwards too. Yeah, very much so. You know, so that being said.